Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global market reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Keren Levy, president of Payoneer. Keren, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Great having me today. Thanks.
Tell us about Payoneer.
Great. So Payoneer actually built a financial platform over the past 16 years that really allows businesses of all sizes and truly all geographies to actually send funds and receive funds. So I think that the way to think about us is that we address the needs of a small business in China and the Philippines, as well as the needs of some of the biggest brands like Amazon and Google and others out there. And the thing is that it really goes beyond payments to being an e-commerce enabler. If you think about other services that business will likely need, they will need working capital, commercial cards, merchant services, and so many other services. So that's really in a nutshell.
So why is it such an exciting time right now for Payoneer?
So we really built this platform for years and years now, and we already serve around 5 million customers. And I think that the real thing around it is that we have a deep understanding of our customers, and obviously and we have a lot of knowledge that obviously sits with our teams that are very close to our customers in markets. And if you look today at the needs of small businesses when they really want to tap into the global economy, especially when we're seeing with the pandemic, the accelerations of e-commerce out there in general and demand work and other business models that we support, we're obviously helping those businesses to grow and go beyond their own countries and their own territories. I think that the other thing that is obviously exciting is that we went public a few months ago, and definitely now we have more access to more capital, and with everything that comes with all these new business models and the acceleration in the market in the last 2 years, unfortunately as a result of the pandemic, is really one of our most interesting moments when we have more capital, we're developing more services to our customers and really addressing broader needs of more businesses that are naturally also growing.
We recently covered in early November the Singapore Fintech Festival and covered all the different types of topics that are taking place in the fintech space right now. What's particularly exciting about fintech as it relates to the Singapore and Southeast Asia region?
Yeah. So I think that actually when we speak about Singapore, really it continues to be a hub for fintech growth and innovation. So I think that, again, it's been proven time to time again by the local government and their willingness to really prioritize the industry. So again, the Singapore Fintech Festival is just one example, but it really indicates an open collaboration and dialogue between the private and the public sector. So recently the MAS appointed a standalone entity to just drive the Singapore Fintech Festival, but really beyond, right? So I think that with the mission to foster an open dialogue between the public and the private sectors, and really to harness fintech for growth and development in this new digital economy. The other thing that we're seeing with Singapore, that I think that Singapore itself saw a record year in equity funding for fintechs in 2021, and it really signals that it is a proven ground for fintech in the region on a global scale and also on a local scale, obviously. So I think that one of the things that we're seeing, going back to my comment about fostering really greater collaboration between traditional finance and fintechs. And really this very much ties with our vision here in Payoneer also. So we have a program called Payoneer for Banks. But really the idea is, how do you partner with some of the local banks in the country in order to improve the services that you can provide for their cross-border needs and other needs that usually the domestic banks in the country can't really provide. So I think that some of the things that are being signaled, and some of the things that Singapore is really raising the bar for, and again, going back to the collaboration between even sometimes competitors, obviously, but how do you actually solve for those businesses and customer problems, including some solutions that you partner or with partners or even with competing systems. I think that the other thing that we're seeing is that really Singapore is forefront of promoting technology in digital payment space. And again, some examples would be that Singapore and the Philippines are exploring linking up real-time payment systems. The MSA is actually testing, digital currency with global counterparts. So definitely a lot of those innovations and openness comes from Singapore.
Yeah, it's really interesting that you bring that up, Keren, because I feel the conversation this year was less about us versus them and more about how legacy institutions and fintechs are working together to bring what consumers want to market quicker and on scale, right? So what does fintech look like in the next 3 to 5 years?
I wish I had a crystal ball, right? But assuming that I don't have, I think that there's definitely with Web 3.0, so the new digital economy will be defined over the next few years. And I think that it includes changes in business models, in payment processes, and even in the role of fintech. So I think that this will likely result in a further seamless integration between other industries and fintech players. Businesses that utilizes this integration really in a positive way, and again, have customers in mind. So businesses that are customer-centric enough and agile and data-driven will likely lead the way, in the future. And probably another thing that we can't really ignore, right? So the wave of digitalization that has definitely accelerated during the pandemic has really further highlighted the importance of seamless global commerce, right? So there's a shift in consumer behavior that really also drives a shift in the business behavior, right? So everyone is raising their bar, and the expectations are just growing. I think that again on the business side, the shift in the consumer behavior that are shopping more online, that are shopping more cross-border, really causing and creating some increased competition between retailers and merchants. And now retailers need to rethink their value chain and focus on user experience and good UI and so on and so forth. So I think that we're having a lot of those trends will probably shift the way that we as businesses think about our consumers. And obviously consumers are demanding more and they want to see more personalized and reliable digital services every time that they transact or they shop or they engage with a business in general.
Right, and Keren, in the last minute here, how is Payoneer planning to continue its growth?
So definitely the global e-commerce landscape is obviously one of the most incredible spaces for us as a company. And we've been in this e-commerce ecosystems for many, many years. And we grow with the marketplace ecosystem and also our B2B accounts, receivable accounts, payable offering and platforms are growing. I think that as mentioned before, right? So we will continue to look for ways to expand our ecosystem, engaging more and more with partners, including banks, including mobile wallets, especially in the APAC region in general. We are speaking about more and more services, so investing in new services, such as merchant services, working capital, commercial cards, some of the things that I've mentioned. And with access to more capital, obviously expanding our M&A strategy following the acquisition that we've done in December 2019, but obviously looking into different segments and looking across some other opportunities that we have as a company. And the idea is just to expand the value-added services that we provide to the businesses that work with us, and obviously further building the platform. So a lot of growth plans, as you can tell.
All right, Keren, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thank you for having me. Bye.